Rise and shine. Welcome back. Luke with Premium Aquatics here. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you've had a great couple of weeks and are getting ready for winter because it's coming. It's fall. It's beautiful, gorgeous out. I love it right now. But thanks for coming. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about what I'm going to be looking at this week for my tank. See if we can maybe get a little bit of coral happiness and growth going on here. We're going to be looking at a product that is claimed to help with about 15% increase in growth and just overall happiness. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. We'll take a look at this product. Come on. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Tank's doing fantastic. The GSP is starting to grow on the bottom, which I'm so happy about. It's taking so long, it's driving me nuts. I actually kind of want to break these rocks up again just to help have more area for it to grow along. I don't want to mess with it too much and then make it upset either, but everything seems to be doing good. Anemone's looking great. We do still have the flatworms. I'm going to get some fish, just haven't had a chance to yet, but we will get on that. The zoanthids, the GSP, everything seems to be happy, but it's not doing a ton. It's growing a little bit, but not a lot. So I want to see if we can add some beneficial like amino acids, carbohydrates, all that stuff into the system to help spur their growth on and give them even just a little bit more punch for color, happiness, all that jazz. What product is this that can be so magical? I'm sure you've seen it, I'm sure you've read about it before, but I finally got my hands on it to try it out. That is the Reef Energy Plus. I'm extremely happy to be able to get this and try it out. I've seen a lot of great feedback on it, a lot of great info on it, so I'm really happy to finally be able to get one for my tank and see what we go. We have our instructions and then simply our bottle of Reef Energy Plus, little dosing cap, or if you're dosing it, you can actually, there's a little spout on top. I don't know if you can really tell that, but there's a spout here on top that allows you to get to, like you put your dosing tube right on here and it doses from the container for you instead of having to put it into a separate container or anything like that. Once you do open it though, they do say you should refrigerate this, so keep that in mind for dosing if you want to use your dosing pump. They say it can go about a week before you need to refrigerate. So the Reef Energy AB+. So this is an organic complex of dissolved and suspended carbohydrates, amino acids, fatty acids, and vitamins essential for coral vitality, growth, and coloration. So it's basically, it's considered what they consider an all-in-one type of dosing. So it's going to get you amino acids, fatty acids, carbohydrates, basically all these elements that you're wanting to get into your corals and feed to them and give them on a consistent basis that you may not be otherwise, and just boosting their health and immune system and stability and their growth. And just, it's kind of like with garlic and fish. When you put garlic in that fish food, you're trying to boost your fish's immune system with that garlic and what that enhances for that fish. So this is kind of that's how you can think about it. We're looking to boost our corals, but across the board, not just with one little area. We're trying to boost everything with them and doing it with one product, which is great. You can't argue when you're able to, instead of dosing 5 different amino acids or your carbos or any of this stuff where you've got just massive amounts of bottles that you're trying to dose every single day, one bottle makes it simple. The cool thing about this is, depending on how you're doing it, this is a 500 milliliter bottle, and this is a lot. And I'm dosing 4 milliliters. That's 100 plus days. This bottle, or I should say, this item, this liquid, is good up to a year after you first open it. So if you went with a 1 liter, whatever size you wanted to go with, you've got a long shelf life for this product, barring you store it properly, of course. But that's awesome. It's not something where you're opening it up like milk and you're on the time clock. Who doesn't like to go past that expiration date on the milk bottle? It's mind over matter, I know, but hey, it's hard to do for me. So, with this, you've got a long shelf life that you don't have to worry about it expiring before you even can use it all. So that's something great to keep in mind. let's go ahead and open this up. If you're using it for dosing, you wouldn't want to put this whole bottle out on the shelf. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure 1 week's worth out. So if I'm measuring if I'm dosing 4 milliliters a day, I'm going to do 28 milliliters, put it into a container and dose from that for the week, because I know that's week stable, meaning it's stable for a week. So then the rest of it I'm going to put in the fridge to keep stored properly. Then when the next weeks come along, do another 28 milliliters. Now we've got about 60 gallons up here, about 60 gallons down there. I'm just going to start off with going for 60 gallons, so that means I'm going to roughly dose about 9 milliliters, somewhere in that range. Maybe we'll just do 10 because it's a little easier to read on this. So I'll go with 10 and then dose it in the system. Let's see if I can't spill this. So this is 10 milliliters, not a lot, out of this huge bottle, so we got a lot to go. A nice bright, this is like a highlighter yellow color. It's going to be really cool. So let me bring you off the stand, take you in here, and I'll show you it dosing into the tank. Actually doesn't smell that bad. No, just kidding. Guys, don't drink this. Come on, grow up. All right, let's get you off the stand. Let's get you off the stand here and let me dose this. So we're going to put it in the high flow area and get it down to this Nero here real quick, which look at that coralline algae. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. It's amazing how coralline attracts to plastic for some reason. That is so cool to see that highlighter yellow just go throughout the tank. So now we know it's getting in there. We know it's there. So one thing about dosing and using this bottle, they do not recommend using this cap contraption longer than a week unless you can actually store it and utilize it properly and keep it refrigerated, because if you let this cap sit, there's obviously residue of the Reef Energy Plus that gets in this cap, gets in the little nipple that just stays there, and if you're not going to be able to store it properly, then you've got all this residue that could contaminate the next dose, and not something you really want to do with. So unless you are going to get super fancy and you've got like a little mini 6-pack fridge and you put this in, cut a hole in it, you're keeping it refrigerated, if you want to go hog wild, more power to you, go for it. But generally speaking, probably better to have just a little container, pour it in, dose from there, and use a dosing pump from that point. But that'll get you at least started, and that's what I would probably recommend. I probably would skip the cap myself unless I had a little fridge to do that. So anyways, great product. We're going to see how this does for the corals. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this zoanthids just because they, I think I've seen them, they're growing, they're just not going crazy or anything. I don't see them just exploding. So we'll see how this does over the next few weeks and see if we can see a big difference, especially in color maybe. See if the GSP is doing anything different. The torch, maybe if that colors up a little bit or starts expanding more. So we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, I'm excited to try this out. So we've got a dose. Now we just go throw this in the fridge and wait for the next day. I'm excited to try it out, see how it does, see how our corals react to it. They do say the one really nice aspect about this, or what they claim about this, is that every part of this liquid is utilized in some form or manner by your corals. So you're not having to worry about, okay, well, what's going to happen with this? It has amino acids. What about the parts B, C, and F that aren't utilized by the coral, but they needed to put it in here to keep it suspended or keep it preserved or anything like that, and it's just kind of a binder or an additive. What happens to that? Well, they claim that we don't have any of that in here, so we don't have to worry about, okay, well, I'm dosing 60 milliliters of this in here. What about the 10 milliliters that is just fluff? We don't have to worry about that, so we're just dosing the needs of the corals. So it's really cool to see that and know that every part of this is going to be taken up by a coral and be able to be used up. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going to get used up. Obviously some of it's going to get down into my sump before it's absorbed by a coral, but it can recycle through at least some. The sump may be able to utilize some of it. So as far as like the refugium area. So yeah, great product. I'm excited to try it out. let's see what happens. Have you used it yet? Have you used it? What has been your experience? Have you had success with it? Have you seen immediate success? How long did it take you? Put it in the comments below. Let me know if you've used this, what your results were. I'd like to, compare what you got compared to what I'm going to get. But that's it, guys. I'm excited to get this into the tank more often, regularly, and consistently. See what the zoanthids do, some of the other corals, and I'll report back to you. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, guys. Hopefully you have a great rest of the weekend. Take it easy. Enjoy this gorgeous weather while you can before the snow hits. And if you like snow, great for you. I love it too. But so anyways, that's it. Stay happy, healthy. I'm going to go put this in the fridge. Peace.